Hello, Emily here from Homemade Emily Jane, and this video is for beginner quilters. If you are just learning how to quilt, wanting to learn the basics, this is specifically made for you. Throughout this video, I'm going to show you the basics of how to cut fabric for beginners, specifically intended for patchwork and piecing within the quilting world. We'll be using a rotary cutter like this one. You'll see it has a round blade, a little guard on it. And then we'll also be using acrylic rulers, which look a little something like this. And then also a cutting mat. A self-healing cutting mat is preferred, and that's what's going to protect your workstation and give your rotary cutter a surface to cut against. I'll link some of my very favorite products, the cutting mat, rotary cutter, and some essential quilting rulers to get you started down in the description below. But if you're brand new to quilting, you might also want to check out this video tutorial I already have created for you that compiles all the essential quilting tools that you'll need to get started. There you'll find lots more information about the different thread or pins, needles, sewing notions, all of that. So make sure you check out that video as well. Before we dive into how to cut fabric using a rotary cutter and acrylic quilting rulers, I wanted to share a little bit more about the history behind this amazing invention. Rotary cutters actually were not introduced until the 1970s, so based on the timing of this video, just a little over 50 years ago. Before that, obviously quilting has been around for many generations, and our ancestors used to cut out their quilts using scissors and creating templates and drawing the shapes onto the fabric and then cutting them out with scissors. So we have come a long way, and cutting fabric is not nearly as time consuming and tedious as it once was. I think the invention of the rotary cutter is actually really cool. It's super neat and allows it to be much more accessible and fun for modern quilters today. Now, before you start cutting fabric, there are a few basic things that you're going to need to do to make your quilting project a success. The first thing that I always recommend doing is picking out a quilt pattern to follow. Following a specific quilt pattern is essential, especially for your first quilt. I have a few super easy beginner quilt patterns that are available over in my shop, and I want to share them with you today. Both of these quilt patterns are featuring half square triangles. I have the sail quilt pattern. This one features two different sizes of half square triangles all sewn together, and the solitaire quilt pattern. This one features one size of half square triangles with some sashing in between. So both of these are perfect for making your first quilt. I highly recommend checking these out or finding another beginner-friendly quilt pattern that you might like. The very first quilt I ever made was using half square triangles, just like these two patterns, but many other people prefer their first project to be simply just squares or just rectangles, and those are great options too if you want something simple and easy. My biggest piece of advice is just to find something easy that will make sure that you have success for your first project, and then you can always try out more skills and techniques throughout the many years that you'll be quilting. Once you get started, you might just get hooked. Once you pick your pattern, you'll see the pattern also includes fabric requirements. So that'll tell you exactly how much fabric you need to purchase for your desired quilt, for the size that you're trying to make, all of the different colors and all of that. So check out the fabric requirements for your pattern and make sure that you find the fabrics that you need. If you are brand new to quilting, you might be like, I don't even know where to buy fabric for quilting. Check out this tutorial. It's all about shopping for fabric. It'll tell you the difference between a fat quarter and a yard of fabric. It'll explain so much. So check that out, and you'll even find a few of my favorite online fabric shops there too. Once you've gotten your pattern and the fabric that you need to make your pattern, you're ready to get started. But before we actually start cutting out fabric, we have to prep our fabric. Before I make any quilt, I always prep my fabric by pressing it with a nice hot iron, and I also spray my fabric a little bit with Best Press. I'll show you what that process looks like now. So you'll see I take my fabric and I begin laying it out When you purchase fabric, specifically like yardage, background fabric like what I'm doing right now, you'll see it comes pre-folded. So you'll have two edges that are together and then a fold at one edge, this side. So you'll see I have my selvage edges. These typically have little tiny dots on the selvage. That's the two edges, and then the fold. As I'm prepping my fabric and cutting my fabric, I like to keep the fold there just because it's so much more manageable to cut a piece this big rather than cutting the full width, which is typically 42 inches. So having it folded not only makes it easier, but you also then get twice as many cuts out of it. So go ahead and fold it. Make sure your selvages are lined up. And then you'll also want to check and make sure that your fabric is somewhat on grain, meaning there's not a ton of fraying at the edges. So check to make sure that your fabric's on grain, selvages are lined up, and you have a nice fold. And then I'll begin to spray. This is Best Press that I have just in a spray bottle. I use the unscented Best Press. It's a starch alternative. If you have a preferred starch or starch alternative already, feel free to use that. Some people love to use flatter or like a faultless starch. Anything that you can do to make your fabric a little bit more crisp and flat is always beneficial. It'll make cutting and sewing a lot easier. So you'll see I just spritz my fabric with my spray bottle. It doesn't have to be super dense, but some people get their fabric completely soaked. I personally just give it a little misting, and then I take my iron, place it on top. You don't have to wiggle the iron a bunch here. That would actually distort the fabric. So move your iron slowly and just let it get those creases out of your fabric. If your fabric's been folded for a while, you'll notice it has a lot of creases, so just give it some time and eventually the fabric will be nice and flat. Once your fabric is all nice and crisp and flat and treated with starch of your choice, you are ready to begin cutting. Before we start cutting, we'll want to pick out which rulers we'll be using for our specific project. So the pattern that you're making will kind of dictate which size rulers would work best for you. I will share a few of my favorites. First off, I have one really long ruler. This one's 24 inches long, which given that typical fabric is with the fabric 44 inches. When you fold it, that's 22 inches. This one is just plenty big enough to cut the entire width of fabric when it's folded. I will say I got a 6-inch by 24-inch ruler, and if I were going to redo that decision today, I would actually get a 6.5-inch by 24-inch ruler. And the reason why is actually because I end up cutting 6.5-inch pieces quite often. So having that extra 1/2 inch on this ruler would be super nice. For the purposes of this tutorial, I'm actually going to cut some 6.5-inch squares. So having a square ruler or just a smaller rectangular ruler is helpful too, because this can get really cumbersome to move around when you're going to cut those little squares. You end up poking yourself with the ruler. So I use the long ruler for cutting with the fabric strips, and then I'll use a square or a smaller rectangle to cut the specific pieces that I need for the quilt. You'll see in most of my quilt patterns, I can't speak for other designers, but most of my quilt patterns, the way the instructions are written are to cut out with the fabric strips, and then from that strip, you cut out your individual pieces. So it kind of breaks it down step by step for you. You could start off by cutting all your width of fabric strips and then going back and using smaller rulers for the individual cuts. And as I shared, for this tutorial, I'm going to share how I cut 6.5-inch squares. So we'll go ahead and bring some rulers, my rotary cutter, and the fabric over to my cutting mat. So the next thing we'll do is we'll prepare our workstation for cutting our fabric. First things first, grab your fabric and lay it out on your cutting mat. You'll see here I've got my selvages together. I've got my fold up at the top here and then a raw edge right here. And this cutting mat that I use is 24 inches by 36 inches wide, which is a really nice size. If you're just getting started, you might do a 24 inch by 18 inch, but I definitely don't recommend going shorter than 24 inches so that you can fit your whole fabric on the mat at one time. And the first thing that we'll do actually is we'll cut off this raw edge. So see how this edge is all frayed and like kind of ugly and it's not straight. Before we start cutting, we want to cut with a clean edge. So since I'm right-handed, I'm going to make sure that I get that raw edge over towards the right side so that I can take my hand with the rotary cutter to cut that off. And then I'll line up my ruler so I have that straight edge to follow. I'll take my left hand and hold the ruler in place, using a few things here to line it up. First off, lining up a straight edge at the fold at the top, and then lining up the straight edge at the bottom with another line on the ruler. And then getting it as close to this edge as I can, holding the ruler down, and then cutting, closing the rotary blade when it's not in use. And then I have this raw edge, I can just throw that away. And now that we have a nice straight edge, kind of like to start our cutting, I'll go ahead and flip the fabric back around. So now you'll see we're actually finally ready to start making our cuts for our quilt. So follow the instructions for your specific quilt pattern here, but I will start by cutting out a couple 6.5 inch strips. So as I mentioned earlier, I have a 6-inch ruler, but this is an 9.5 inch ruler. I also recommend this one, I love it, but if you're only gonna buy one, I would recommend the 6.5 inch ruler to start. And then I can line up the 6.5 inch line on the ruler with the edge of my fabric, making sure that my fabric is directly on the edge of that on the markings. One beautiful thing about rulers is you can always use a larger ruler than you need to cut out smaller pieces. So if you're in doubt, I always say you can always get a little larger ruler. So once you have that edge lined up, again, placing your hand to push down on the ruler, holding the fabric in place, grab your rotary cutter, open up the safety, and then begin to cut your strip. Pressing nice and evenly all the way across. You'll feel the cut, and then you'll see you have a nice long straight cut ready to go. And then you'll repeat that same process for as many width of fabric strips as you need. So for this specific design, I need 3. Being careful, your ruler will be tempted to slide. Holding it down will keep it in place. You'll see I goofed a little bit on that one just because of where my tripod placement is kind of not the best. So I did kind of screw that up. Something to look out for. I think I'll still have plenty of fabric for the amount that I need. That's definitely a lesson learned for making sure that your ruler stays straight and in place. You definitely want to hold it down as you're moving the rotary cutter. Let's see if I can do this one a little better. There we go. So now that I've cut my width of fabric strips, the next part is to cut out some squares. So I'm gonna stack them up. If you're a beginner quilter, maybe 6 layers is too much to start with. Maybe start out with only 4 layers and see how it goes. But I'll stack up all 3 of those strips that I just cut. And in the meantime, I will clear my area so that I have a little bit more space. I'll take my excess fabric and save it for later. And then I'll take my big ruler aside. I'll swap out my big ruler for a square, smaller ruler. This one is exactly the size that I need my blocks. You can use a ruler that's the exact size, or as I mentioned, a larger ruler will also work. You just line up to the size that you're looking for. So I'll line it up here and then cut off this raw edge. The selvage edges I love to cut off. You don't necessarily want to sew with those in your quilt. And then we'll rotate everything around just like we did earlier so that your fabric is on the left if you're right-handed. So you can grab your rotary cutter with the right, line up the ruler, and then go ahead and cut your squares. Pushing down, you'll have to push a little harder the more layers that you're cutting, but you'll see I've got 6 squares cut out just like that. And then you just rinse and repeat that same process to get all the squares that you need. I'll show you this next one, what you would do if you were using a larger ruler. So here's an 8.5 inch ruler. You would just line up 6.5 inch, the lines there. You'll see since this is a square, we have the diagonal. You want that point to match up right with the corner of your fabric. And then you want the base of your fabric to line up with the 6.5 inch on the other side. So line those up and then go ahead and cut. And you'll see I have those 2 squares that got kind of janky. I'm not going to use those in my project because that's not accurate, but all these other ones I can use. And luckily for the specific quilt that I'm making, I only needed 16 6.5 inch squares, so that works out perfectly. I wish I hadn't have made the mistake here, but it's a good lesson to learn, so I'm grateful I was able to show you today. So then go ahead and gather your scraps. These bigger scraps, they're folded, so they're a decent size scrap. You can save those for another project for later. These smaller scraps, I would say just throw them away. And then continue cutting until you have all the pieces that you need for your project. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial learning how to cut out some basic shapes for quilting. If you want to see the whole tutorial in an article format, make sure you check out my blog, homemadeamzn.to. I'll link the exact tutorial in the description below for you. You can go ahead and save that on Pinterest or however you like to save so that you can come back and find it later. That has all the instructions written out, a bunch of my favorite ruler recommendations. You'll see I have tons of quilting rulers, and I of course wouldn't use them all in one video, but you can see some of my favorites over on the blog as well, with affiliate links to some of my personal favorites. Another thing that you'll find in the blog are some safety tips. Using a rotary cutter is a little bit dangerous, so make sure you check out the blog for all the safety tips. The main one that I'll share with you is make sure that you close that little safety, because this could so easily hurt you if you knock into it or if it falls off and lands on your foot. Like, so many bad things can happen. Let's not let any of them happen. So close the safety when your rotary cutter is not in use. Make sure you keep your fingers away from the edge of the ruler. If your fingers are over the edge while you're trying to cut, guess what's in the way? So be super careful as you're cutting. Make sure that we don't end up with any quilting injuries today. One more thing, if you're a beginner, you might not know this, but the rotary blades on your rotary cutter do get dull over time. You can easily get some replacement blades and switch them out. Depending on your rotary cutter, it shouldn't be hard to switch out the blade at all. For this specific rotary cutter, it takes like 10 seconds to switch out the blade, and you will notice a difference if your blade is dull compared to a new one. So make sure that you're using a nice sharp blade in your rotary cutter. If you want to take your skills a little step further, stick around. There's lots more quilting tips, tricks, and tutorials over at homemadeamzn.to. Make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel so that you see lots more quilting tips and tricks. And also drop a comment below to let me know that you're learning how to quilt. I would be so excited to meet you. Drop any questions you have for me below and I'll do my best to try to answer them for you. Happy sewing!